Excellent. Good afternoon, everyone. I see my colleague Ian has started the live stream. So River, whenever you're ready, we do have quorum and you can go ahead and get started.
Thank you, Elizabeth. So I'm going to call this meeting to order at 2:02 p.m. And our next item is the approval of the agenda. And I think possibly Ophelia might have something to say.
Hi, it's Ophelia, River. I have a request to just add something to the agenda, just to share about a community event under other business.
All right, thank you for telling me that, and we'll be sure to add that to other business. And then, sorry, this is like my second time doing this, so if I'm really slow, sorry. So now that we've had that, we require a vote. I'm going to ask for a mover and then a seconder. So can I have a mover? Councillor Holland, and a seconder. I think I saw Sunita's hand. All right. All in favor? All opposed? All right. So that carries. And then the confirmation of the minutes. Were there any additions or corrections to the minutes at all? No? Okay. Again, I'm going to call for a mover, Hal, and a seconder, Sunita. All in favor? And all opposed? All right. So is there any disclosure of pecuniary, wow, I can never pronounce this, pecuniary interest? I don't think so for this meeting. So we're good. And then our next item is delegations. Do we have any members of the public here?
Thank you for that. We do have one member of the public with us. They would be able to speak during the business item should they wish to, but we do not have any formal delegations.
Okay, thank you. And then I don't believe we have any briefings, so I'm gonna skip over that unless anybody has anything to add. And next is our business. So business item A is the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Office Report, October 2022.
Hello, River. Thank you very much, EDI committee, for this meeting. And I am just waiting for Ian to bring the PowerPoint slide up. So this meeting and the support that we are presenting in front of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Advisory Committee, it summarizes the activity of Intercultural Art Festival 2022. Next slide, please. The Intercultural Art Festival 2022 was organized in collaboration with Recreation and Leisure Services, Arts and Culture Services, Strategy, Innovation and Partnerships, and Communications and Customer Experience departments from City of Kingston, along with numerous community partners. The EDI office played a facilitator's role in bringing all these different stakeholders together to organize this amazing arts festival, which is now in front of you for the updates purpose. Can I have the next slide, please? I also want to take this opportunity to recognize the 10 years history of this festival, which was built on the 10 years history of Multicultural Art Festival, previously organized through Kingston Community Health Center and Kingston Immigration Partnership, and was passed on to City of Kingston to take it to next level, and with guidance of some of the members of EDI committee and a huge support from a lot of community leaders and spokespersons, we were able to take it to another level up and rename the Multicultural Arts Festival to Intercultural Arts Festival to include many other intersectionalities of variety of Kingston's diverse community into that. Next slide, please. Some of the highlights that I want to share about this festival is that the festival was a family friendly event, and it was free of cost, as it was historically. The focus was to celebrate the community's diverse and inclusive culture, which also included food, music, and arts. Um, the it was to bring the high experiences of local residents and tourists alike to front and center of Kingston stage, and it celebrated Kingston inclusive culture in more than one way. Thank you very much. Next slide, please. It was also a great opportunity for everyone to come together and appreciate city's incredible talent and people. Here, I want to highlight one very important thing, that the artist roster showcased a very robust and equitable lineup. We carefully curated the lineup of performances through EDI lens, which was one of the major highlights of the festival. And I will go into the details of the performances with all of you shortly. And I'm sure you all are able to see some of these amazing photographs that are being shared in this presentation, that are not stock photos, but they're taken from the actual festival. Thank you. Next slide, please. The festival opened with a grand opening ceremony with speeches from Chief Dave Mott of Elderville First Nation, Grandmother Kathy Brandt of Mohawks of Bay of Quinte, Sunita Gupta, who's a community representative and member of EDI committee, and Mayor Brian Patterson. And followed by the speeches, there was an opening performance by Haudenosaunee, a drumming group that performed, and I will give you the list of all the performances at the very end of this presentation. Can we have the next slide? A very important element of this festival were the workshops. While there were performances from India to Scotland and from Rwanda to Portugal, and there was food from variety of local eateries. We also curated workshops on several cultural aspects, intersectional aspects of Kingston's community. There was a workshop on South Asian arts of henna tattoos, Chinese arts of calligraphy, drag makeup class, Israeli dance, and a fusion drumming circle, which actually drew a large audience to the workshop tent, which was set up separately from the main performance area. Next slide, please. Despite of coming right after a global pandemic, there was a huge response from several cultural and ethnic community organizations and groups. I really want to take this opportunity to thank all these groups here who participated in our Intercultural Arts Festival. In fact, their Intercultural Art Festival, I should rather say, by setting up their cultural pavilions in an alphabetical order. The list is as follows: Association of Indian Grad Students at Queen's University, Lisanta Cultural Frontenac, Chinese Canadian Association of Kingston and District, Irish Community, Islamic Society of Kingston, Italo-Canadian Club of Kingston, Japanese Community, Kingston African Caribbean Collective, Kingston Jewish Council, Kingston Malayali Association, Kingston Nepali Community, Pakistan Canada Association of Kingston, Scottish Community, the India Canada Association of Kingston, and last but not least, Turkish and Azerbaijani community that collaborated together to bring their unique offering at the festival. Next slide, please. There were a number of community organizations that also tabled at the festival. The purpose of these community organizations was to bring awareness about their services to Kingston's residents, especially the diverse community of Kingston. The list of the participating community organizations that tabled at this festival were here Akfomi, CFRC 101.9, Kingston Police, Doors, FM, Big FM, Fresh Radio, Her Majesty's Canadian Ship Kataraki, Immigration Services Kingston and Area, Kingston Frontenac Public Library, Kingston Indigenous Languages Nest, Kingston's Women Interfaith Group, and I'm going to be having some difficulty in pronouncing the French name, so apologies in advance. Réseau de Soudain Immigration Francophone de Ile de Ontario, Restart Employment Services, the Humanitarian Club of Medellin de Royan Elementary Public and Thousand Islands. Next slide, please. Like I mentioned earlier, that the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Office very carefully curated some of these performances to ensure that there's a equity lens to the main stage and every culture to the very best possibilities represented. Although I also want to admit that it's practically impossible to bring every intersection of cultural performances to a main stage in a small one-day festival. We did try to bring as much to the stage as possible, and it was a jam-packed day. As you can see, the performances that we saw throughout the day, like I said earlier, the Haudenosaunee drumming by Crystal Loft and Mendy Smart was the opening performance. And then we had a cultural dance performance, which is Thrivatra Kali dance by Kingston Malayali Association, followed by fusion drumming by Yashika Rivera Belsham and group, Nepali dance by Kingston Nepali Community, Scottish pipe band by Rob Roy Pipe Band and Highland Dancers, Francophone musical concert by Norbert LePage, Bharatnatyam dance by Anupama Krishna Das Nambisan, Chinese dance by Tessie Chaiwen Chen, Goan Portuguese dance by Kingston Goan Community, fashion show by Pakistan Canada Association, Indian fusion dance by Association of Indian Graduate Students at Queen's University, line dance by Thalik Martial Arts, belly dance by Paramita Kaur, Rwandan musical concert by Empress Niri Gango, and drag show by Rowena Way. I want to also highlight one very important aspect of this performance lineup, that this is the first time ever and any student association from one of the post-secondary institutions have participated with any of City of Kingston's initiatives or festivals. So I really want to thank especially to Indian graduate students at Queen's University. And also this was the first time in the history of any of the events that were organized by City of Kingston that a local drag performer also took over the main stage. As it was said by many participants in the festival, that was a historical moment, and I just want to echo those feelings that it was definitely a historical moment for local drag queen Rowena Way to take over the stage and share their art with the Kingston's population. Next slide, please. With that, my presentation comes to an end. I also just want to take this opportunity to thank all of you for the support and guidance that I've received. I definitely want to personally thank Sunita Gupta and Jirman Khan from EDI Advisory Committee to give City of Kingston staff a lot of extra time to guide us through the nuances of working with diverse Kingston's community. What I, in conclusion, want to say is that the organization of Intercultural Arts Festival provided the City of Kingston with an opportunity to expand on the success of um, this initiative of equity, diversity, and inclusion, and the success of Multicultural Arts Festival by broadening its mandate. It also provided an opportunity for the city to strengthen our relations with community members and community partners, along with uh, the ability to develop a long-term plan for this festival in future that is community-led and city-supported. Thank you very much for your time. If there are any questions or comments, I'm here to answer that.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Mohammed. I see that Sharon has a question. You can go ahead.
Hi, thank you, Mohammed. I think we really wanted to thank you for coming forward with this intercultural festival, and it was a great show. But just as a feedback, couple of things like when we met most of our community people or the people who are coming to the stalls, I think we had less the publicity over the intercultural festival this time, like most of the Facebook posting or any other things which was not covered yet, so people were not aware of it. Maybe I think that if that can be taken care, maybe next time it would be really appreciated.
All right. Thank you so much. I imagine that Mohammed has a response to that, so I'll let him go ahead.
Thank you very much, River, through you. Thank you, Sharon, for the feedback, and definitely this is something that I'll take back to our communications team, and we can definitely work on it. However, I just want to highlight that City of Kingston has an annual calendar of the social media post, and we need to be very equitable in how we are promoting our events. And as I'm sure this committee knows that there's a jam-pack list of events that we promote. But definitely this is something to go back, and once we will be meeting with community groups, perhaps we can strategize how several community groups can reshare some of the posts, or we can use different mediums of community groups and promotional styles to bring more interest from the wider Kingston's population into Intercultural Arts Festival. Thank you very much.
Sure, thank you. Look forward for more events.
Okay. Is there anything else on that topic, or can we move on to the next comment question?
River?
All right. So next was Elsie. Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I just had my hand up.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and congratulations, Mohammed. I think that was a fantastic event. I absolutely agree, and I wanted to say that I think the marketing of it, there was very little awareness of this in the city. So marketing really needs to be ramped up. And well, for us, it's important that everybody knows about this, because that's the point of this. It's not, I have a specific interest in music, so I'm only going to look at the music calendar. This is about creating awareness. So our focus should be a little different. I'm just wondering, in future, it seems like it is growing and there's appetite for this. Could it maybe be more than one day, and maybe have a food festival in the evening and the next day the performance events? Just a thought. And I'm glad you said that you've built community member and partners. I think there can be more members and partners can and want to be involved in this. So let's grow from here. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Would you like to respond to that, Mohammed?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, River. Through you, I want to thank Elsabe for their feedback, and definitely this is something that when we will be going back to community groups for the next year's planning, we will discuss different aspects of how community wants to drive this festival. Like I said, that it was a festival that was driven by community groups. City of Kingston facilitated it, but the main idea of different aspects of this festival came from the consultation and support of the different cultural community groups that came forward. And we definitely want to make it even more festive and more of a learning opportunity for Kingston's community and its visitors, so that we can showcase the diversity of cultures in our beautiful city. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If I can just add, I really like the food idea. I think that'll bring in a lot of people. So next is Ophelia.
Yes, and just through you, Madam Chair, just a comment about the marketing, maybe for next time, if the organizing committee could connect to like your TV Kingston. I think that's really important because it's also could provide an aspect of showcasing the events or parts of the event live to people who may not be able to come down for the day, or they might see it and come down, and it is, you know, it's all about local events. So I think if we can make sure that they are part of it, it would give us a natural partnership with local media.
All right, great suggestion. And Sunita.
Thank you. And through you, Madam Chair, I just wanted to echo all the great feedback that we have received from this group, and appreciate the passion that we all have to see this grow from one day to another, and just grow, period. But having been that person who used to organize this event, I also want to give a huge shout out to Mohammed and his team and the City of Kingston for taking this on, for embracing this event, because it was sort of pawned off on them, because the organization that did deliver this event handed it over, and there wasn't much community consult that happened during that time. Plus, we are barely out of a pandemic, so there had been a bit of a disconnect with the community groups, with the planning, and all that disruption, is again not conducive to growth. Having said all that, the city under Mohammed's leadership did a fantastic job, along with the patience of all the community groups who allowed for this transition. And I think we will only continue bigger and better from here. So that's all. Thank you.
That was a wonderful comment. Thank you so much. Are there any further comments from the committee? No? Okay, so although this probably isn't in standard form, just wanted to interrupt for 2 seconds. Just to remind people to maybe, if you want the formalities, just to say chair instead of Madam Chair, if that's okay. I've heard that a few times and I just wanted to make people aware of that. Thank you so much. Okay, so our next section is if there are any public comments or questions or anything like that.
Through you, Chair, I'm just going to let the individual know who is with us today, if they wish to speak, if they could just raise their hand in Zoom to indicate they'd like to do so, and then we could provide permissions for them to speak. I'm just going to give a couple seconds to see if we get a hand. And I'm not seeing one, so we can go forward.
Okay. To complete this business item, I'd like to ask for a mover. Councillor Holland and a seconder. Oh, am I doing this
Sorry,
wrong?
Chair, through you. There is no motion for
Oh.
this section, so it's just comments and feedback at this time, and we can move on to just the motion section after this.
Perfect, thank you. So moving on to the motions. I don't believe we have any unless I am corrected. And then I guess after that, we would do the notices of motion. Are there any notices of motion at this time? So does not look like it. And then the next item is other business, which I know that there was an item by Ophelia.
I just wanted to let the community know that a local Black community called Black Luck Community Collective, we're organizing a advanced private screening of Black Panther, and I wanted to just share that with people who are interested. It's on Thursday, November the 10th at 7:30. And if they're interested in doing that, we are going out as a community to see the Black Panther too. So just wanted to share something. Thank you.
Thank you, Ophelia. So the date and time of our next meeting, the Equity, Diversity, Inclusion Advisory Committee is scheduled for Monday, December 12th at 2022 at 1 p.m. And I guess that after that, there's the adjournment. So I would like to call for a vote of adjournment. Can I have a mover? Ophelia, and a seconder, Councillor Neal, and all in favor? All opposed? All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody.